think it's about 8:30 in the morning. See my breath. Is this too bright? No, I think it's okay. So it's about 8:30 in the morning and it's raining. Raining really hard. Yeah, I looked at the Farmer's Almanac a couple of weeks ago actually, and it said that this winter is going to be quite cold for us up here because of El Nino. Apparently up north here we're supposed to be getting quite a bit of rain. More south of us it looks like there's going to be a lot of snow, but we'll see how much snow we get. I think last year we got a day of snow that melted as soon as it hit the ground, so yeah, it wasn't so bad. This week has been really quiet. I just basically did the normal weekly chores of weed trimming. I think it was my last weed trim of the season, which I'm really happy about because I hate weed trimming. I don't use the word hate very much, if at all, but I really hate weed trimming. Yeah, and we also had 2 really big windstorms, so I had quite a bit of stuff to rake up. The owner has me, like, for the first couple of years I was here, I was just raking, cleaning everything, like, just it was on the ground, it got raked, it got put somewhere else. But the owner has me leaving a lot of the needles from the cypress trees. He has me leaving them now, just surrounding the base of the trees, and we no longer use the blower to blow the kind of living areas, if that makes sense, of the outdoors, just the roads. So we only use the blower to blow the leaves off the roads. But yeah, so I just basically just rake, and whatever comes up in the rake, that gets moved. But otherwise it just all gets left behind because the ground was cracking a little bit, so the owner just wants some more organics in there to start healing up those cracks. A couple of days ago I asked if anybody had any questions that they would like answered. Not that I'm that interesting, but I just find that a lot of the questions in my comments, a lot of them are, you know, relatively similar, which is fine, but I just thought that as opposed to answering them in the comments, I would answer them here. Laura Hunter 1690 asked me, do you ever get scared when you're there alone? I can understand why people would think that I get scared, but I've only been scared twice. Once when I saw the grizzly on the shoreline, that really scared me. And yeah, so Peach and I hightailed it to the main house, and we stayed in there for about 3 hours until I felt he was gone. And he was gone when we came out. So the second time I was a bit scared is one morning I came out of my cabin to go turn on the generator, and there was snow on the ground. I think it was either my first or second year here, and there was snow on the ground. And when I went into the generator shack, there were no footprints, no bird prints, no animal prints, nothing in the snow. But when I came out of the generator shack, there were cougar prints in the snow. So yeah, he had obviously followed me to the generator shack, and I'd left the door open, so when the generator goes on it makes a really big noise, so I think it spooked him and he took off. So yeah, so that's the only 2 times I've ever been scared. I sleep like a baby. I'm not scared at all. Nicole Bourge, I hope it's Bourge, or Bourge. Hi Amanda and Peach. I would love to know more about how you transitioned over to the healthy way you eat. A few day in the life examples of what you eat throughout the day. Love, from Minnesota. I do eat very healthy. I used to not eat healthy at all. I remember in my late 30s, I mean, I would go 2 days in a row and all I would eat is cinnamon buns. I was really thin. I was super, super thin. And it never occurred to me to put good food into my body. And that's something I do regret, actually. I think it just, I don't know where my head was at. In 2015, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. I had surgery, and probably within about 2 weeks, I was notified by my surgeon that I was cancer-free. So I was really, really, really lucky. Crazy lucky. But it was, you know, a wake-up call, which is, yeah, why do we need to have these terrible things happen to us to get a wake-up call? Anyways, that was me. So I'd done a bunch of reading, and I ended up starting on the ketogenic diet and I stayed on it. You know, I screwed up once in a while, but I stayed on it for 5 years. And I can tell you without a doubt, the first little bit of it was really hard, but you know, within the first year, I was stunned at how good I felt. I had energy, and I remember thinking, is this what you're supposed to feel like? Because my 30s, I just didn't eat well, so I just was always tired, and I was just like, okay, this is normal. I thought this is what we were supposed to feel like. But yeah, so I did go on the ketogenic diet for 5 years, and I loved the way it made me feel. But when COVID hit and I hopped on my boat and headed north, it was much too difficult to stay on the ketogenic diet because, one, at that point I didn't have a fridge in my boat, and it was just really difficult. So I started adding things in like chickpeas and lentils, you know, stuff with a lot of nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and all that stuff. But I didn't start eating carbohydrates again right away until I got here, and then I decided to just get into making sourdough. So I did that, and wow, I discovered very quickly that I had a gluten intolerance, which isn't surprising. My mother, her whole life, she had Crohn's disease, and she did pass away from, you know, a side effect of Crohn's disease. So yeah, so it's not surprising that I have an intolerance to gluten. I don't have celiac, so it's not quite that bad. Like, I can have gluten, but for a couple of days after, I will feel terrible. Like, I will feel like I'm getting the flu or something. So at this point now, I cut out all my gluten. And then I all of a sudden got this eczema attack. It just was crazy. Like, it was all over my legs, my arms, my back. Like, it was so bad, I ended up in the hospital. I went to the hospital. I didn't end up in the hospital. I went to the hospital. I ended up having to use topical steroids just to take the inflammation down because it was so bad. And after that, I did a lot of research, and through my research, I learned that skin issues are related to leaky gut. And leaky gut can be triggered by major events in life. So major events like surgery, cancer. So looking back, I can see that the cancer just triggered a whole lot of stuff in me. So I got focused, and I started an elimination diet. So that really brought what I ate down to like tiny. There's no variety in the food that I was eating for a while there. I just focused on nutritionally dense foods, and I just limited. So I cut out gluten for sure. That was gone. And so then I started on, I left dairy to the last because I just love dairy. But I did cut out cheese. I cut out like yogurt. I cut out ice cream. I cut out, yeah. But I did leave dairy to last, so my next one thing, I cut out sugar completely. And I did notice a significant change in my skin after I cut out sugar. But the eczema was still there, and it was still flaring up. After I changed my laundry detergent, which completely fixed my clothes giving me flare-ups. So right now and this isn't sponsored, so right now I use the Tide gentle or unscented or whatever it is, the skin sensitive one, and it's literally the only one that didn't cause flare-ups in my eczema. But yeah, so about 2 weeks ago I finally got around to completely eliminating dairy, and that was it. My eczema disappeared. Which made me really sad because I had to cut out cream in my coffee, so no more cream in my coffee. But yeah, so for me, it's a combination of dairy, sugar, gluten. It was all contributing to my skin issues. So my skin issues are so much better. As to what I eat every day, I do intermittent fasting, and I eat one meal a day. It took me a long time to work up to that. So I now eat one meal a day, and I get my daily calorie intake from that one meal. That's not totally true. Like, I have an 8-hour eating window. For any of those who are familiar with intermittent fasting, you fast, generally it's up to you, like the hours you do, but I do 16 hours fasting and then 8 hours eating. Like, you don't eat for 8 hours straight, but so I just, within that 8 hours, I just get all my calories that I need. But generally, so the morning I have a smoothie with one banana, a handful of blueberries, a handful of raspberries. I do like a tablespoon of chia, peanut butter, and 200 milliliters of water. And I also take something called L-glutamine powder. So I put that in my smoothie every morning. L-glutamine powder is, if you have leaky gut or think you have leaky gut, that's the best thing to start taking. It's gonna heal your leaky gut. Yeah, so that's my morning, and then I'll usually eat my big meal at around 1 o'clock, and I'll do tacos, like with gluten-free taco shells, hamburger. I'll do a lot of times I'll do like curry coconut chickpea soup over basmati rice. Like, I keep it really, really simple. But all of that being said, it's so easy to do out here because I can't just run to the grocery store and buy a chocolate bar if I feel like having something that's not very good for me. So I just don't buy that stuff, and I don't have it here, so I just don't eat it. That was long, sorry. But yeah, that's how I eat, and it's good for me. And all of that being said, it doesn't mean that it's good for everybody, because all of our bodies are very, very different and handle different foods in different ways. And yeah, so you just have to find what's best for you. So I did have a few more questions to answer, but I think I'm just gonna keep those in my phone, and I'll answer them next time. I got a lot of really good questions, which I was really grateful for. But today, it's raining right now, but it's supposed to stop, believe it or not. I have a bunch of wood I have to move, so the wind's supposed to pick up around midday. I'm really hoping this rain lets up quickly because I want to get as much done as I can before the winds pick up. Peach. Oh. Peach, I'm gonna tie you up. Yeah, I'm gonna tie you up. You stay here. Come here. It's a squirrel, Mama. Hey, come here. That's a squirrel. What was that for? That was just a squirrel.